The following content is sponsored by Dr. Dippy. The owls are ever present. Hey guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. Today I'm going to be showcasing a interesting synergy because I noticed a comment on one of my videos that I did with the Adaptation mod. Someone said that if you combine the Adaptation mod with the Fire Resistance mod or whatever it's called, I'll check it out in a second. I rarely use it, so I forgot the name. You actually gain 100% damage resistance to that element. And I found a sort of... It's situational, and I'm going to start off right off the bat before I even start. This does not make her a tank, and this is not an end game strategy, but it will make Ember a little bit more useful ever since her nerf to her 4, which is basically crap. Anyways, so we're going to go here, and I'm going to show you the build first. So as you can see, we have the Adaptation mod, and of course that's 10% resistance to that damage type for 20 seconds, and then it stacks up to 90%. Then we also have Flame Repellent, which is 60% heat resistance, which is basically the same thing, but they also stack. Now, first of all, this thing might get nerfed eventually, and when they nerf maybe Adaptation, or maybe they'll nerf this synergy, but honestly, it's still very situational. Even if you resist 100% of fire, there's still plenty of enemies that don't deal fire, and even when you regen, which is why I'm using Ember, when you get set on fire, it's actually not that overpowered, but it does make her better, like I said. And we have Rage, and Quick Thinking, and Prime Flow, because the point of this build is to basically use her as a melee tank. Absorb a bunch of heat from maybe a napalm, become resistant to the fire, then stand in the heat. Now you're gaining a bunch of energy per second, which you can use for Life Strike on your melee weapon, or you can use it to just cast her normal abilities. And obviously Vitality and Stretch, so you have some more health, and Range, so her second ability, that Stun, actually lasts longer. Now for the melee weapons, I have my Ack and Brunt. I have a Riven mod for it. I haven't done a video about this because I'm still not sure about this weapon. It has a very low status chance to begin with, so I had to use these two dual stats to have some sort of status. I don't know. I don't really like the weapon very much. I hope Melee 3.0 fixes it. Anyway, that's not about this. And I also have the Javelok. Now, once the Adaptation mod doesn't work for self-damage. However, it will still, once you have the 90% reduction plus the 60% from that other mod, you won't get damaged by this weapon at all, but you will still get set on fire, same as if you stand in fire from enemies. And this is going for multi-shot and fire and status, so you can basically proc yourself with heat as much as possible. So if there isn't a napalm around, you can gain some energy. I'm not sure if this will be nerfed, like I said. I hope it isn't, just because it really isn't that powerful. But knowing DE, they might see, oh man, you can become 100% immune to the element, and then nerf it. We'll start off with a napalm, just at levels, well, no, let's go to level 100. I'm pretty sure I can handle it. I did some tests already with level 60, and it did pretty good. So let's do this. Now, normally, right now, I'm already 60% resistant to heat, so this shouldn't kill me. Almost did, but now I'm 60, 70, 90, and I'm already immune. Now, as you can see, I'm gaining energy extremely quickly, or really quickly. I think it's like 10 energy a second or something. But you notice, I'm still getting procced with heat, so it's recharging Ember's abilities. So now I can just keep spamming my abilities, or, which is the reason for this build, you can use your melee weapon to attack enemies, because you can gain health with Life Strike. So now I get Life Strike here. Now I want him to fire it again. Now I'll back up to my regen, as you can see, even when I'm channeling, I'm still almost regenning, and then also stacks with Zenuric, of course. So now I can get even more. So set me on fire again, please. I can see the change. Now, as you can see, the energy regen is pretty ridiculous, and I should... Okay, no, so even with Life Strike, I can still use more energy than I can regen, but still, this is where the setup could be useful. Now, obviously, in a normal mission, you're not just going to have a weapon or an enemy firing just one kind of weapon. So let's do like a Lancer, Arid Lancer, it doesn't matter, and a Dzecar Lancer, and a Nightwatch Lancer. Not Nightwatch, he has Radiation. Frontier Xmas. So kill and spawn. So now, this is where the OP-ness that you just saw kind of ends, because now I'm getting damage from all these other enemy types. And obviously, because this thing blocks 85% damage, to charge up this resistance, I have to hold down. As you can see, I'm only gaining resistance to slash. So I have to get into this heat, charge up, and then use my life strike and hopefully start regenerating more than the other guys can actually kill me. I am immune to heat, but not to their puncture and impact of their weapons. And these guys are still level 100. But then I can, like this, quickly use my 2. Now they're stunned, so I can quickly gain my life back. And if, let's say, there isn't this napalm, let's say he's dead already, I still have the resistance, I can regen some of my energy by just firing my Javelok at the ground and gaining some fire. But as you can see, my fire resistance is already gone, so now I'm taking almost full damage from the fire, but I do regen. So there is a little bit of use to this. Now, like I said, this isn't an end game strategy or anything like that, but it is interesting, it is powerful, and it makes Ember kind of useful. It basically kind of counters the fact that her 4 is kind of useless now. And of course, obviously with her 4, it's a channel, so even if you do stand in fire, you won't regenerate any energy at all. So you have to actually disable that ability to start regenerating. So with a little tweaking and a mod that normally you would never use, you can make Ember pretty good, but I keep saying this, I'll say it just to make sure that this point is driven through. This is not an endgame strategy, and there's plenty of other ways to make Ember good, but I found this to be interesting, and you could use it in real missions to actually use her as a kind of melee, kind of tank-ish sort of build. So yeah, thanks for watching.